Hello and welcome back to Spended Fanimation. I'm your host, Dennis Bithoulkas, and it's time for an episode. It's actually a very special episode of Spoiler Alert. It's actually episode 21, and it's the MCU recap, kind of, sort of. We're going to talk about what led us up here to Doctor Strange 2 in the Multiverse of Madness and see if we can suss some stuff out, if we can. And I was thinking about it a little bit, and I was like, that actually is not a bad topic because I'm going to go see this on Friday. So before we get started, let me take care of some business first, then we'll get down to it. If you like what you see here, like, share, and subscribe. If you're still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos, my vast video library, and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can't, hit that like button, the share button as well. And if you like to gamble, you can hit that bell down below, and YouTube may or may not notify you when I come on live. So what you should do is go over to suspendedfanimation.com, take a look at the schedule up there. I change it out every week. Also have all the links to my social media on there and all the links to my pages as well. Now, with that said, spoiler alert on this stuff, okay? So if you haven't watched all the stuff from the MCU, I'm talking about the movies, the Disney Plus series, all the Disney Plus series, including the animated stuff. Yes, the what if and all that stuff, because that is canon. Then you might want to leave because I'm going to be talking about pretty much all of it at random here as we go through. None of this is going. I haven't seen Doctor Strange 2 yet. I haven't seen the Multiverse of Madness yet. So I'm not going to be talking about that at all. I don't want to know anything about it at this point. I'm not watching any of the new trailers that keep popping up on a daily basis or an almost hourly basis at this point. So I'm going into this thing relatively blind, which I want. So where do we start here? Where are we at actually in the MCU as of Spider-Man No Way Home, which is an MCU movie? Now, Spider-Man No Way Home has actually made the original Sam Raimi Spider-Man trilogy now canon in the MCU. So they are technically the first MCU movies that were made. But of course, in the chronology of all of this, Captain America, the first Avenger, of course, is the first movie in the chronology of things. Um, this really does not affect the MCU as we know it, as we are right now. Pretty much where we start getting things affected in the MCU in the timeline and also in the multiverse of cracking the multiverse is Avengers Infinity War, Avengers Endgame. Uh so when they go back in time and do the heist of the jewels and stuff like that, although we saw in Loki that the Avengers going back in time did not actually it's the Eternals, that's true. The Eternals is fuck. Thanks, Raymond, for I tried, blocking that out. Thank you for shattering my illusions on that one. Hayward 789. I forgot. Eternals is actually now the very beginning of the MCU timeline. Fuck. Yeah, it is. So yeah, exactly. Eternals poop is right. Um, so where we actually have the break, I guess you can say, in timeline in the multiverse, things of that nature, as we saw in Loki, is really the Avengers going back in time to grab the Infinity Stones. But they did it in such a way that supposedly they didn't break anything, they didn't break any rules, and that's why the TVA did not go after them. Although Steve Rogers went back and stayed back in the past, married Peggy Carter, all that stuff, and grew old. So you can't tell me that didn't break something right there. That had to have broken something in the timeline, and why the TVA didn't take care of it is anyone's guess on all of this. Um, and speaking of the TVA, we go to Loki. I'm kind of jumping around. I'm going to jump around a little bit here and there. Um, Kang, or really not a version of Kang called He Who Remains had set up just one timeline. So there wasn't a multiverse. Anytime there was a multiverse that veered off, they would prune it to keep to keep the timeline intact as one. Now, once Sylvie killed, of course, He Who Remains, and they basically fucked the timeline at that point and splintered into the multiverse. This allowed, I guess you could say, when Doctor Strange did his spell, it allowed him to, well, even before Doctor Strange made his spell, we had What If, the animated What If, which is MCU canon as well. And the multiverse actually starts spiraling out of control from there. We have Infinity Ultron, which is right above me, by the way. He just arrived. So Infinity Ultron just arrived right there. Um, who of course wanted to break the multiverse, and he wanted to control everything, all aspects of the multiverse. And of course the Watcher, Uatu, was hell-bent on stopping him. So of course he used the evil Doctor Strange to lock them both away in an eternal struggle in a crystal, is what you've got going on there. um yeah, so we have that aspect of it, that there is an eternal struggle going on inside of a crystal, which obviously that didn't work, because what we're getting with Doctor Strange 2, something, of course, had to have gone wrong. And most likely, when this Doctor Strange that we know from Spider Man No Way Home, did his spell, he ended up breaking probably that crystal at some point in time by fracturing the multiverse. Because we also saw, um, God, I hate to fucking say this, but we saw this in Morbius, which is fucking MCU canon, because they brought in the Vulture in the after credits, who is now also multiverse hopping, as well as Venom. Venom is multiverse hopping as well. Um, so everything is going everywhere at this point. Everything everywhere all at once. See, it all works out. Word 79 says TVA ain't gonna arrest Captain America. Yeah. Yes, post credits are canon. Word 789, they are canon. So yes, they are, unfortunately. Even as dumb as it was for Morbius. God, that was just a fucking dumb end credit scene. Anyway, so where we're at is Doctor Strange in Spider-Man No Way Home broke the multiverse. Most likely broke that crystal that had the stalemate going on with the evil Doctor Strange and Infinity Ultron. Or was it Killmonger Infinity? No, it was Infinity Ultron. There we go. Raymond says, so which universes do you think we are guaranteed to see? All of them. Raymond, all of them. It's Sam Raimi, so anything's on the table at this point. I am expecting to have my mind blown. I know we're going to see the zombie universe. I know we're going to see certain things out of this. There are already cameos that Marvel is fucking spoiling left and right. They keep posting stuff on Twitter to the point where I'm not even looking at Twitter anymore, because they just keep spoiling things. They're like, and guess what? There's this cameo too. And I'm like, dude, your movie comes out in a couple of days. Stop. Just stop. So yeah. So yes, because of the actions of, I want to even go back a little further and maybe even say WandaVision. WandaVision might have been the start of where we start having the fracturing of the universes because of her hex powers. She might have, with what she did at Westview, altering reality, she may have fractured part of the multiverse and allowed allow that to happen. And that would have allowed What If, which would have allowed Spider-Man No Way Home to break it even further, which means now we're into this complete and total just meltdown happening. Raymond says, so which wait, CBM says, yeah, people are getting really annoyed with the cameos. Yeah, I know. I know. I know. I mean, we do know, and this has been since the beginning, we know that the character America Chavez is going to be in this. She is a dimension hopping superhero. She has been in the comics. She is in the MCU as well. Um, and that's going to be an interesting character that is going to be able to help Doctor Strange see different universes, and hop through them and whatnot. So we're going to see different versions of Avengers. We're going to see different versions of Doctor Strange. We are going to see characters that haven't been in the MCU as of yet. We are also going to see characters that we have seen in Marvel movies before. Most likely, we're going to see X-Men. We're going to see maybe even some Fantastic Four from other movies. I wouldn't put it past Sam Raimi to put those in. Yeah, she's actually a lesbian, is what she is, Raymond. So yeah. So yeah, I think it's Middle Eastern countries aren't going to show it, and then I think China said they're not going to show it because of, I don't know, they're pissed off about something. So yeah, but anyway, that's neither here nor there. Um, it's a cast full of gay. Yeah, I have no problem with it whatsoever. Honestly, I mean, come on, man. You got people in real life that are gay. Your fictional characters can be gay as well. Not, they're not all gay in the movie. There's a couple of characters. Okay. Grow up. There you go. Man. Yeah, some people are just a little too fucking uptight. But anyway. So yeah, this whole I'm gonna say Wanda, most likely when she was looking through the Darkhold, is the start of all of this, is where we're starting at. And probably the reason when Stephen Strange goes to meet with her, which we've seen in the trailer already, I'm fairly sure that he's going to find this out, that her thread from Westview and the Darkhold goes through Loki, and his thread of what he did for Spider-Man and breaking the multiverse even further than it should have. Oh, yeah, your mind can really get fucked over on this one, just thinking about all the stuff that happened. And I'm wondering how Marvel is going to handle it. I wonder how Kevin Feige is handling this. I'm sure he's got a plan. I'm sure it's going to be awesome. And I'm sure it's going to be one of those things like, huh, okay, I didn't see that one coming, because usually he sneaks a couple things in here and there, which is going to be awesome. Um, does Moon Knight play any part in this? I don't think so. I don't think Hawkeye plays any part in this either. Of course, those are, and also the Falcon and the Winter Soldier, Captain America and the Winter Soldier, doesn't play any part in this either, because those are all the, uh, I guess you could say, more grounded, or not grounded even. It's the more street level stories. Even though Moon Knight is the one that is supernatural. Hey, Feisty. How's it going? So yeah, I'm fairly sure, like I said, the ones that we should be watching, you should be looking at, if you haven't watched them already, WandaVision, of course, Loki, and What If, and of course Spider-Man No Way Home. So yeah. So yeah, I actually, just before I got on here, I was talking to a friend of mine, and so I'm going on Friday afternoon, and I was asking him if he wanted to go. because of COVID and everything. He doesn't really like going out. So he's like, yeah, man, let's go. So it's kind of funny. The theater that I was going into, they have groups of two seats. They're two recliner seats that they have, together, and then you have tables in between, these groups of seats. Well, the one seat that I already picked, it redded out the seat next to me because it doesn't allow people to sit next to you during COVID kind of stuff, which was interesting. So I had to buy two other seats, and then we're gonna move. And yeah, anyway. Do you think Wanda is the ultimate big bad, or will it go deeper? Um, I think it's gonna go deeper, quite honestly, Raymond. I think Wanda is a catalyst of all of this, but it has to do with the Darkhold. So the whole thing with this is the other thing too. So they're calling the creature Gargantua, but it's actually oh my god, I'm blanking on his name now. So it's the tentacle character that we see with the one eye that throws a bus at Doctor Strange and he cuts it in half with well, anyway, that character is actually from Conan, and it's Robert E. Howard. It's actually from the books. Korath. There we go. Shimagorath. Thank you, Raymond. Yes, Shimagorath. So Shimagora is actually from Conan, and the Robert E. Howard estates weren't going to let them use the name because they're like, hey, unless you pay us money, you can't use it. So they just went with the Gargantua name, which they already own. The MCU already owns, and that's why he looks like Shimagara, but he's actually called Gargantua. And the whole thing with Shimagora is he is a being that eats multiverses. That's what he does. He is a god, if you will, that eats multiverses. And that's what he's here. He is the big bad. Even though they kind of are downplaying it, but I'm fairly sure that he is going to be the big bad in all of this. And that was the same monster from What If. So they didn't really show Shimagorath in What If. They were focusing more on Infinity Ultron. That's what they were doing. So even though we saw some creatures that Doctor Strange had conjured up, the evil Doctor Strange, they really didn't. They almost touched on it, but they didn't. I have to go back and watch again and just see exactly who they conjured up, because there was a scene there where they did some montage, and he might have he may have popped up during the Captain Carter segment when his tentacle came through the doorway and got cut off. That might be the one. Yeah. Well, it's Captain Carter is what her name is, not Captain Britain. I know I want to call her Captain Britain as well, but she's not Captain Britain. She's Captain Carter, which I'm fairly sure she's going to be in the movie as well. Honestly, I all for it, to tell you the truth. Why Peggy Carter the series didn't last longer than it did? I rewatched that thing on Disney Plus, and honestly, it still holds up. It's a great series. If you haven't watched it, go and watch the Peggy Carter series. Everything's on Disney Plus, man. All the stuff is on Disney Plus, even the bad stuff like Eternals. Yeah. And it's kind of funny. The Incredible Hulk, the second one, is that right? Was it the second one or the first? No, it was the second one. That's right. Louis Leterrier was the one who directed that, which fucking directing was horrible in it. He murders pretty much any movie that he goes in and directs. He is now directing the Fast and the Furious 10. He's replacing Justin Lin for that. It was probably just confusing business stuff. No, I'm fairly sure that they want to do a Captain Britain movie at some point in time. So there is in the comics a Captain Britain. There is an Excalibur team, and I hope at some point in time there is an Excalibur movie. Excalibur is all mutants. Again, Kitty Pryde is one of them. Captain Britain, Psylocke, um, Lockheed, of course, the dragon. Kitty Pryde's dragon, things of that nature. So it would be interesting if they actually did this. So where is my rambling going with all of this? Um, Pretty much nowhere. We're just kind of catching up on everything that has come to now, shall we say. And I'm really excited for this movie. I'm looking forward to it. I love Sam Raimi. Sam Raimi is one of my favorite directors. And also when he gets to do, supernatural, plus he gets to do comic books, plus he gets to do any superhero that he really fucking wants to do. I'm expecting this to be, like I said, batshit crazy insane. Yeah. CBM says I wasn't excited about FF10, even less excited now than not excited now. Yeah, exactly. Hey, Ronnie Cervantes. Are there cameos in the movie apart from the Illuminati? Yeah, there's going to be a ton of cameos. So Marvel keeps posting shit on Twitter, and I'm not looking at it because they kept going, "Oh, there's a cameo," and I'm like, "Nope, don't want to see it," and I scroll past it. There are going to be a ton of cameos. We already know of a few of them. I mean, some of the ones that have dropped, we know that Haley Atwell is going to be there as Captain Carter. We know that Tom Cruise is playing Ultimate Iron Man or Irredeemable Iron Man. I can't remember which Iron Man he is, but he's an Iron Man character as well. And that's kind of where I stopped. I just don't want to know anymore. But I know those two were fairly blatant. Superior Iron Man. Thank you, Ronnie. Superior Iron Man. Yes. And yes, those were in the early trailer as well. But they keep releasing, I'm telling you, they keep releasing almost daily trailers. There was another one that just popped up today. It says Wong versus the Octopus. And I was like, I don't want to know what it is. I don't want to see it. Yeah. And also they're going to bring comic book characters into this too. Um, you know, um, at the sanctuary where the sorcerers are trained. God, now I'm blanking on his name. The green um, man goat, if you will. I want to say it's Ronga or something like I can never remember his name, but he's gonna be in that's gonna be a live action character, which is gonna be like fucking awesome as well. So Raymond says, I just hope they don't try and fit too much plot in the given runtime. It's Sam Raimi. He actually knows how to plot things out. This is a man that when he did his 3D movie, The Wizard of Oz, he went back to film school to learn how to do 3D properly. So if you ever want to see a 3D movie that's done well, watch that movie that he did. It's actually you see the layers of 3D that he did. He actually did that well, and also it has a story to it. It's got a good story to it. Um, I just don't think it was marketed all that well, quite honestly. I enjoyed it for what it was. It wasn't the best movie, and James Franco, frankly, shouldn't have been leading the movie at that time or ever, if allegations are true. So but yeah, it's gonna be a fun one. I'm fairly sure it's gonna be a fun one. I am gonna cover this on Tuesday, next Tuesday for Is It Worth My Time? I'll do it then. And I believe yeah, I can preview it, I guess. Uh Let me see if I can actually do this and not kill everything as I'm trying to get up here and give me just one sec. Let's see if I can reach it. Yeah, there we go. I got it. There we go. That's what happens when you do things live on the air and you don't plan things out all that well sometimes. So, um, the next movie after Doctor Strange, of course, is going to be Thor: Love and Thunder. And I'm pretty sure what I'm gonna end up doing is doing a contest. Um, I can't tell if I'm gonna do a contest tomorrow for Moon Knight. I'm probably gonna do a contest for Doctor Strange. Is it worth my time? Since it'll be the next movie, and the grand prize is going to be a shirt that says "I'm not single. I'm saving myself for Thor." Is what it says. And this is actually a Marvel shirt. It's a Marvel um, licensed shirt, and so I get Marvel shirts sent to me once a month, and this happened to be one of them. It's an extra large shirt, but I am going to be giving that away as a contest there next Tuesday. Next Tuesday, and I'll set it all up in the. You'll see it all down below in the description of the video. When will be your spoiler review? Tuesday. Yeah. I'm gonna do it next Tuesday. I usually give people a couple of days to watch, something and then do it then. And I found Tuesdays are the best day to do that because that way it gives you the weekend and then maybe Monday if you kind of skipped over it, and then then I do it on Tuesday. So yeah, so I'll see it on Friday. And depending on how good it is, I might see it again over the weekend or something like that. I don't know. We'll see. It depends on if my sister wants to go and see it, and if she's all caught up on all this stuff, because sometimes she's not. And then I don't like sitting next to her because then she's like, what does he mean by that? Who is that? And she doesn't have a filter, or volume control. You know who you are out there. CBM says, I don't know when I'll get to watch it. Hopefully quick. Well, it'll always be a video, so you can always go back. I will do a non-spoiler version at the very beginning of the Is It Worth My Time? And then, of course, I'll go into the spoiler version of it. So, like I normally do for my Is It Worth My Time? Although it's probably going to be a pretty hard one to do a non-spoiler version on it. I'm fairly sure it's going to be. I'll muddle through it somehow like I normally do. So, with that said, what else do I have going on for the rest of this week? Well, tomorrow is going to be the season finale of Moon Knight. That's right, Moon Knight, the season and most likely the series finale of Moon Knight. Wondering how they're going to wrap all this shit up, man. I mean, they've got a lot of ground to cover, and from what I understand, it's the shortest out of all the episodes. It's supposed to be 47 minutes long, and the rest of them have been like 52 minutes, somewhere around there. So we'll see what happens. I'm looking forward to see what happens, but we'll see. Thursday and Friday and Saturday I'll be off. Sunday will be another episode of either Is It Worth My Time? Or not Is It Worth My Time? Excuse me. Either the Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off or another episode of Spoiler Alert. Depends on, most likely it'll be another episode of a Sunday edition of Saturday Morning Blast Off on Sunday, since I've already done a spoiler alert here. And really, I'm not watching anything new at the moment. So, yeah, we'll see what happens. And then, of course, Monday I'll be off. And then next Tuesday will be Is It Worth My Time? Doctor Strange 2, The Multiverse of Madness. There we go. So go out there. And so I started saying what you should be watching for all of this. WandaVision, Loki, What If, Spider-Man No Way Home. Yeah, those are the four right there. Those are the four big ones right there that are going to tie in directly to all of this. And yeah, and they're going to be the most relevant to what's going on in this movie. So if you haven't watched any of those, yeah, got a lot of watching to do. Honestly, the Disney Plus series are easy. They're 6 episodes, although I think What If is 8 episodes, if I'm not mistaken, but they're half hours, so they're actually easy to get through. If you haven't seen it, Ronnie, yes, Doctor Strange 1, you could watch it. I mean, just to get the setup of everything. Yeah, you could always watch that as well. Although it's an okay movie. It's one of those middle of the road uh movies. I actually watched it again for where did I get I want to say it was Loki that it actually called back to some stuff. Or was it WandaVision? I think it was WandaVision that it called back to some stuff on Doctor Strange. No, it was What If. That's right. It was What If. There we go. They sort of make a spiritual series. Yeah, I guess you could say. I mean, if you haven't seen Doctor Strange 1, then yeah, definitely you want to see it because otherwise it's not going to make sense why you're watching Doctor Strange 2, why you're watching a sequel. So, and also if you haven't seen Spider-Man No Way Home, this movie, Doctor Strange 2, leads Spider-Man No Way Home leads directly into Doctor Strange 2. So, because all the events that happen there are what happened there. And then, of course, if you haven't watched What If, there are going to be characters from What If, even though it's animated, that are coming into Doctor Strange 2 as well. So you're going to go, who the fuck is that? You're going to be like my sister and go, who the fuck is that? And I'm going to go, well, if you watched what I told you to watch, then you know. So I'm trying to watch the movie. Do I think any deaths will occur? Yes, but they're going to be characters that are in the multiverse. So we're going to see characters that we know die, but they're not going to be the characters that we know. It's not going to be the universe that we know's characters. How's that? It's going to be a cop out on that one. Oh, and by the way, I like to say, so my old Deadpool glass that I got from the now defunct ArcLight theaters um, has been slowly deteriorating over time. It's now become zombie Deadpool. It's actually got a clear eye on it and everything. I thought it was kind of funny, but yeah, it actually rubs off on my fingers now too and everything. It was a very cheaply made glass or iron on or whatever the fuck they did. So, with that said, oh, and by the way, I've got Wanda up here too. So this is the wow. It's from WandaVision. It's her corporeal, her astral self, her astral projection, because it's all red up there. And of course, Infinity Ultron, who just came in the door a couple of days ago. So he's up there now. I do change things out periodically from stuff in the background because you guys out there do notice. So it's little things here and there. No, it is not the glow in the dark one. Um, it's just the floating one. She's supposed to be floating and she's all red. I take her down, but it's kind of a bitch to get out of there. She's kind of wedged in there between the DVDs and the shelf. And I know I would knock Cad Bane down and take him down. He's going to take down Yoda, and yeah, it's just going to go. It'll be a domino effect from there. If there's a good size earthquake, all this shit's coming down anyway. I already know that. I just don't want to be in this vicinity when it happens. Anyway, with that said, I'm going to let you guys go for the rest of the night. Thank you to everybody joining me tonight in the chat, and thank you if you made this far in the video. If you are still on the fence about subscribing, take a look at the video that pops up at the very end here. YouTube takes the algorithms of all the stuff you've been watching and tries to match it as best as possible to one of the videos in my vast video library and pops it up here just for you. And if you like what you see there, hit that subscribe button down below there. And if you can, hit that like button and the share button as well. And if you want to know when I'm be on live again next, go over to suspendedfanimation.com. Take a look at the schedule I have up there. I change it every week. Also have all the links to my social media and all the links to my pages up there as well. And yes, it is a Rube Goldberg of disaster. It really is back here. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again on tomorrow tomorrow for Moon Knight, the season finale of Moon Knight. Until then, don't let the door hit your ass on the way out. Otherwise, it may be a multiverse of doors that just keep hitting you in the ass on the way out over and over and over and over and over again. And you never know where you're going to end up because that's just the way the multiverse rolls. Thanks, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Until then, stay safe, be well, take care, get those vaccine shots, get those boosters as well, because they don't work without them. And we're starting to have a rise again. So wear those masks out in public too, if you can, especially if you're taking public transit. Stay safe out there, everybody. I will see you again tomorrow. Have a good rest of your night and take care, everyone. Thanks. Have a good night.